good collection of artists in this exhibit, a real good collection of artists. But the diverse nature of what's happening at this LH place is amazing. You know, typically you don't see stuff that's so diverse coming from a lot of different residences.
A lot of innovative stuff that I haven't seen before, so I'm very excited. This was the room that I was most excited to come in and look at. Just a lot of new ideas and new forms, and I don't know, it's like eye candy.
This show I think holds its own against any other show at NCECA this year, or really any other exhibition of its kind. You see a real diversity of work, you see a scale of work, you see a range of methods and techniques and ideas. Everything from pots to sort of postmodern sculpture, installation-oriented work, humorous work, very serious work. And so this is the kind of platform that the LH is. You know, this is a show that really presents that cross-section of ceramics that has come through and been an important part of the LH project. So, you know, it highlights the work of these artists, but it also highlights sort of the spirit of the LH project as well, and that makes a really successful exhibition.
This is a huge deal for the LH. Yes, look at these people, you know, this didn't happen before. The LH is now, people know about that word. LH, I've heard of that. Oh yeah, I know that. It's giving it presence.
This exhibition for me, walking into this space, this is a great show, great space. Took a lot of work, right? A lot of people had to come together, you know, to Marge Levy to you know, be able to find this space to have available, Jacob and Chris and Ryan to be able to come in here and sort of see the exhibition, see what the space could have, and then reflect on all of us that have been part of the LH since the beginning and what we would bring as a collective, right? This is, you know, this is a collective exhibition that's about a whole group of people as well as, you know, a group of individuals. This is a magnificent show. I mean, I think it really shows, as Giselle Hicks said in the write-up for it, you know, this is not a cohesive body of work. This is an eclectic exhibition of a bunch of people making very interesting work that could be at the cutting edge or could be building upon some tradition. But either way, forward-looking work. The people that make change are the people that are looking ahead, not necessarily just looking back, or especially not looking back. I think for me, Joseph Campbell says it best. Joseph Campbell talked about the role of artists in society, and he described it as the role of the artist is to open a window or break a hole into the wall that is society and say, look at what I see. And I paraphrase it a little bit and I say, look at how I see, right? That's what we do. We say, wow, look how I see. These are idea machines. You come into an exhibition like this and you have an experience in front of not just a single piece, but in front of the whole exhibition, and it causes one to think differently, hopefully. And that's how ideas are born.
My involvement with the LH Project began way before the LH Project, because Jacob was a student at OCAC, and we used to do these trips. We would go to California to fire a wood kiln, and he'd never done that before. And all of a sudden he was going, yeah, man, oh, this is great. Let's, you know, the material and the hands in it and stuff like that. And so we would go down and do those firings. Then after he left, he stayed in touch, and he traveled around. And he talked to me one day. He says, I found her. That was Chris. And he said, but it also meant this land in Joseph where he was going to put the LH Project and this idea. And we talked about it. And so from that moment, I was part of the board. And we just, whoa, what a wonderful idea.
I think each year that LH has been in existence, it has evolved and come into its own. So the first year was really for Jacob just getting his wood kiln built, and you know, and then that kiln really for the LH project. So the Totogama. So he wanted to make all his own brick. So we talked about, how would you do that? Why would you do that? What material would you use to do that? And then the help that it took to do that. And then, it was to set up the studio, to set up the resident studios, to start inviting residents. And initially, he relied on those of us on the board as people to help him sort of pick people that we knew could work there, because we'd all worked there. So it started out with each of us as board members coming out and making work there, experiencing what the LH project could be in our way, and then thinking about, wow, who else have we met or do we know who might be able to really capitalize on this great experience and this great location and do something for their work that also sort of gives to the whole community. Most artists, we think about it as sort of the artist as this ego and this one individual, but that's never been the actual reality of an artist. Artists are always in a community, just like all of us live within a society. And there's a subculture, and that's artists. And there's another subculture within that subculture, and that's artists that primarily work with clay. And then there's another subculture within that subculture of artists who work with clay that work sculpturally.
Where LH is going in its growth, it's becoming more professional. The people that are interested in coming, the quality is rising, which is very important. I think that there is a thoughtful, conceptual base more than just practice, and I think that's very important in the 21st century when we talk about work, that to have work that is not just, I made that, man, that's cool. That was last century. Now we're talking about, I made that because this has meaning, and we talk about what that meaning is. And I think that is the important part of what's coming out of the LH.
This exhibition is sort of a much more public and declarative exhibition about the LH and its identity and its purpose and its achievement. But really, it's been a fairly closely kept secret. But I think that has been changing, and I think this is a very pivotal point in the development of the LH as a more publicly known entity.
The LH has really proven to be a place where people can come and make great work. And it's been, it's not just the place. You bring great people, you bring those great artists, you bring them to a great place, and then the two things feed one another, and hopefully you end up with better art, better community, and something that reflects on what the LH can help bring to an individual and to our whole community.